guys, it's Abby, and today I'm here to bring you a video that has been pretty requested, and it's just going to be my freshman year experience at the University of Alabama, just a little recap and then any advice I have to give you guys. But before we get started, I just wanted to say that I plan to be doing a whole new slew of college related videos over the summer. So if you would like to see a lot of those over the summer and everything, I would suggest that you go ahead and subscribe if you aren't already down below, just so you can see all those videos to come. As a recap of my freshman year, I didn't really have super high expectations for it, just because I think I was really nervous and excited, so I didn't really know what to expect. But it has definitely been a really hard year for me. I know that everyone has different freshman year experiences. Some people say it's the best year of their life, some people don't. But for me personally, it was a really good year in terms of I found out who I am personally, because that's something I've struggled with over the years, just kind of figuring out who I am, who I want to be and everything. And I have also met a lot of great people, and I've had a great time, but I've also had some really hard times. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys oh, it's the best year of your life, you're gonna have no problems, it's gonna be 100% all the time. I'm gonna be real with you guys, it's not, and you are gonna have hard times. Some people don't. Me personally, I did have a hard time adjusting to being in a college environment and everything, and being away from home for the first time, but I think that's totally normal and it's okay. But I'm not going to talk about my personal college experience for too long. If you guys do want to know more about that, then I do want to do a Q&A in the future related to college. I'm trying to figure out which way to get you guys to ask me questions would be best and everything. So if you guys would like to see something like that, definitely comment down below and let me know, and I can plan to film one of those in the future. But I'm just gonna go ahead and hop into the advice section. I didn't want to spend too long on my recap of freshman year. Like I said, I can save that for another video. Okay, so my first piece of advice is super basic, and you probably hear it in most videos or blog posts or anything, but it's basically just don't skip class. It's gonna be really tempting to, just because you have no one sitting there telling you to go to class, but I don't recommend it, just because you never know when a teacher is gonna throw out information that might be on the test, and you will feel so behind if you skip. I've only skipped a core class once, and it was in the fall. If you do skip a class, make sure that they don't have a strict attendance policy, because some teachers do, and if you miss more than a certain number of classes, your grade can go down 10 points. So just keep that in mind whenever you do decide to skip. Sit front row in your classes. It doesn't have to be the very front row, but I don't recommend sitting anywhere past the middle. Honestly, sit the first 2 rows as much as you can. I have in every single class I've taken. I do not sit in the back in any of my classes, just because I am tempted to go on my phone or do other things or talk to the people next to me if I am not up front, because when you are up front, you are more likely to just be more engaged. And going along with that, this is another piece of advice: get to know your professors well. I know at the University of Alabama, our professors are awesome, and that's one thing that I just love about the school. I think it's really important to do so, because in the future, you never know if you're gonna need a letter of recommendation, or if you're just gonna need advice from them, or if you just need a mentor or anything. It's just really important to get to know them and develop that strong relationship with them. Take advantage of a meal plan if you have one, and the dining halls. In the fall, I hardly ever ate at any of the dining halls, because I am the pickiest eater alive. And I have no shame in saying that. That's just who I am, and I've always been picky. But I have learned now in the spring to just take advantage of it, because we paid a lot of money for it, and we were required to have a full meal plan here at Alabama as a freshman. So I have just been trying out new things, and I just look at the menus every time before I go at each place and decide which place I want to eat at. Talk to people in your classes, because you never know if it can develop into a friendship. I haven't personally made any really great friends or anything through talking to people in my classes, but I do have someone to talk to whenever I get to class early, or someone to study with. So I think that's really important, just to get some connections in your classes, because they probably will be in some of your classes in the future. Be open to try anything new, as long as it doesn't make you uncomfortable. So basically just say yes to new things, even if you feel a little bit unsure about it. But if it makes you in the slightest bit uncomfortable, or isn't something you think that will be good for you in the long run, don't do it. But by all means, if it's just trying something new that could potentially benefit you, go for it. This is my number one, I feel this is the most helpful tip I can give you as a freshman. Everyone's college experience, that set of words, college experience, is different. And just figure out what you want your college experience to be while you're here, and before you get here, just kind of decide what you want to get out of college and how you want it to go for you, because then you will remember as you're in college, like, this is the goal I'm striving for, this is what I want to get out of college, and you will never lose sight of that. For me personally, I want to be able to make new friends that I can hopefully have for the rest of my life, develop good relationships with professors to make connections in the future, and I want to strive to maintain a 4.0 every semester. That's just how I am personally, and I also want to have a good social life and everything. But it's obviously individualized to who you are, but just decide what that is before you come to college, so you will know what you're striving towards before you even get here. With that being said, don't lose sight of who you are. I know there are a lot of people who will like come into college and they just feel so like overwhelmed and just like they get so submerged into the college culture, and they just kind of forget who they are, what their values are, and then just who they are as a person. And then it's kind of hard to just take a step back and be like, okay, I need to get myself straight. Don't lose sight of what your end goal is. Don't lose sight of who you are personally, and don't just like change who you are for a group of friends or for a group of people. Just always remember who you are and stay true to that. And to go along with that, pick your friends very wisely. I haven't really had trouble like with this in college, thankfully. The people I have met have just been absolutely phenomenal. And I know that a lot of people will meet people and they just kind of become friends with the first people they meet. And it is definitely a thing to have like toxic friendships in college, because you just go with the first group of people you see, and sometimes those friendships aren't the best for you. And if you realize that, you need to get out of them, or just let them know like, hey, this isn't gonna work because this isn't how I want to live my life, or anything like that. So just know who your friends are and pick them very wisely, because you don't want them to take you down a path that you don't belong on. And then be there for your friends if they need you. I know there's been times when I've just like gone and picked up my friends from places, or they've needed a ride somewhere, just that kind of stuff. Always be a good friend and be willing to do that, but don't let people take advantage of you in the same sense. If they know that you're always gonna say yes, remember that you can say no, and it is okay to say no, because it is easy to just always want to be a people pleaser and just say yes to everything that people ask you to do. It's okay to miss home, it's okay to miss your friends, it's okay to go home. A lot of people think that going home and missing home has a negative connotation, but it doesn't. Like, it's totally normal to miss the place that you've grown up in, and especially since your family and your pets and your old friends may or may not be there. But it's okay to go home. If you feel like you need to go home for the weekend and you don't have anything else to do it by all means. I mean, it's up to you, it's your decision. There's nothing wrong with going home or missing home. Print out lots of pictures, because I think it's really cool, because I have a ton of pictures of just like me and my family, me and my friends, and then like my pets all in my room from just throughout high school. And I really love having all of them here, just because it like reminds me of the people that I do have in my life no matter what. And I just really like having all of them, and I think it's kind of like a random little piece of advice, but printing out pictures is definitely an awesome thing to do, and I highly suggest it for your dorm or apartment. It's okay to change your major or not know what you're doing in college. It's okay to not know what you want to do. You don't have to have your life figured out yet. Everyone else is pretty much in the same boat, so don't stress about it. Spend your money wisely. I did a video on how to save money in college, and I really feel like I'm just like an expert at this now, just because I failed miserably at it when I was in the fall. So just spend your money wisely. Don't go on random shopping trips. Don't spend a ton of money on food. Just spend it as you need to, and don't spend it on things that you don't really need. The freshman 15 is real. I personally have not like experienced it and gained the weight, but if you come into college knowing that it is real and it exists, I think it's a little bit easier to just like try and avoid it. I mean, I know it's hard sometimes for everyone to avoid it, but definitely just try your best to avoid it, and don't just eat badly every single day. Like, sure, you can have like a cheat day or two a week, but for the most part, just try and eat healthy. Don't let go of your old friends from high school. Be sure to like check in on them and everything. You don't have to talk every day. I have some friends that I talk to every single day still, and I love that, and I know that we will always be friends and everything, but always be sure to check in on your friends if you don't talk every single day. You don't want to just like drop them like they're nothing and let go. I mean, that will happen with some of your friendships if you weren't like super close or anything, or if it's one-sided or something. For the most part, you just need to make sure that you're checking in on your friends, make sure they're doing okay, and just really just put effort into the friendships that you want to keep going. Embrace the change that you're going through. I've said this before, I feel like a million times. At first I was like, I hate this change, like I want things to just be the same. And I'm not always like that. I do like change for the most part, but there's some change that does kind of stress me out. But just learn to embrace it, because you have to accept that everything around you and you yourself are going to change as you come to college. Always remember to take time for yourself. It's okay to not go out every single night. Like, it's okay to have a night to yourself and just do whatever you want to personally by yourself. Don't be afraid to really discover who you really are. I know for some people, like, they completely change who they are as a person when they come to college, and then some people are the exact same person as they have been like the past 10 years. But me personally, like, I haven't changed, I would say, but like I have really learned who I am truly. And I said this in the beginning of the video, but don't be afraid to really assess who you are and see how this change affects you and learn who you are as a person, because I think it's really valuable to just figure that out in college, so you will always know who you are. Make an effort to get to know the area you're in, like the town you're in. A lot of people know Tuscaloosa isn't much outside of the college campus itself, but Tuscaloosa does have some stuff to offer. There's a lot of cute coffee shops. There's lakes and there's the river. I mean, there's stuff to do, but make an effort to like get off campus and just discover what's out there. Do your best to get involved in clubs or groups or sorority or fraternity if that's for you. I mean, really just try and get involved your freshman year, just so you can go ahead and meet those new people and make those new friends and already get started on getting involved. Personally, I have tried to get into like clubs that were selective, so you had to interview for them and everything, and I didn't get into either of that. It put me in a little bit of a slump, because I was like, okay, I'm not getting into any of these things, and I was used to just being extremely involved in high school and just being able to get the positions that I ran for and everything. But it's really not like that in college, because it is a lot more competitive in some clubs. And at first I got really down, and I shouldn't have done this. This is something I definitely regret, but I got really down and I got in a slump of like, oh, like I can't, since they don't want me in these clubs or whatever, I'm just gonna like lay low and do my own thing. But I wish I would have like gone out and gone into more clubs. So my sophomore year, I definitely plan on really getting involved in more clubs, because I've been kind of like touchy in a few, but I haven't really been committed to any, if that makes sense. So definitely try your best to get involved. And if you do fail at getting involved in like selective organizations or clubs, don't beat yourself up about it. Like, it's okay to fail, it's gonna be okay, and just use that as motivation to keep going instead of just falling into a slump like I did. If this is for you, and even if this isn't for you and it's something you have been thinking about trying, try and find a church in your college town, because I think it's really important to just have one and have that college community. I know in Tuscaloosa, the Church of the Highlands is probably like the most popular church here, and it's amazing. I highly recommend it if you're going to be attending Alabama and are looking for a church. Church of the Highlands is my favorite, but there are also a lot of other churches that you can go to and get involved in. Be open to make friends with like anyone. Let go of your like cliches and the cliques that you were a part of in high school, and just really accept anyone who puts in an effort to be friends with you. Just be open to making friends with anyone, and don't be closed-minded about it. Don't treat your freshman year classes like they're nothing, because they will affect you in the future. This also applies to like freshmen in high school, because when I was a freshman in high school, I just like didn't really care. Like, I tried, but like I got B's, 2 B's on like really easy subjects that I could have gotten A's in, and it ended up affecting my GPA in the long run. So basically, your freshman year, you want to try your best, because they are going to be your gen ed classes, and they're probably going to be the easiest ones you take for the most part. So definitely try your best, because they can serve as like a GPA cushion for you. When you're registering for your classes, use Rate My Professor. Basically, it's just a website, and it's ratemyprofessor.com. And go on there and search all the professors that are teaching the courses you need, and figure out which ones have either the best ratings or the ratings that are most suitable to what you want to get out of a professor. Always listen to yourself. I know this might like sound a little weird, but if you're feeling like a little bit iffy about a situation, about a group of friends, about a class, always take a second to step back and listen to yourself and what your mind and heart is telling you, and also listen to what your body's telling you. If you are just going too much, always remember to just take a step back, take a break, Make sure you're enjoying your classes, because if you are miserable in all the classes you're taking, chances are you probably just don't really need to be in that major if the classes are associated to your major, because it's going to be basically what you're doing for the rest of your life. So if you are not enjoying your classes, definitely take a second to consider if it's what you should be doing. And my last piece of advice is to always remember to have fun, because you can get so consumed in studying and just getting homework done or getting ahead in your classes. You really want to make sure you maintain that social life, because it is really important to have people around you who lift you up and just make you forget about all the schoolwork that you do have to do. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it, and like I said, I definitely plan on doing a ton of college videos this summer, and I'm really excited to be filming them for you guys. So if you have any specific video requests, whether they're related to college or not, always remember to comment them, and remember to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and all that kind of stuff. It'll be linked down below, and that way if I do choose to do a Q&A soon, you guys can ask me questions. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you did like it and you want to see more college videos in the future, and I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I will see you in my next video on Friday. Bye.